Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Unit 2 from here to there. Today we are covering period number 4 and 5, which is based upon vocabulary and comprehension. Let's start. See here, in period number 4 and 5, I have joined them together. Why? Because we will learn some new words and then we will use them in few sentences. Then we will read the text and we will solve the exercises. Exercise number 4, 5 and here 3 and 4. These are some discussion questions which I'll be answering them during the explanation of this text. It's an adventurous text which shows how a group of people started their journey. Let's start. First, we will cover the new words.
Period 4. Activity 1. Exact. Exactly. GPS. Global Positioning System. kph. Kilometers per hour. Life raft. Measure. Orbit. Point. Position. Row. Sat-nav. Satellite Navigation System. Storm. Wave. Word formation. Near. Nearly. Satellite and phone. Satellite phone.
See, look at the arrow. Where is it? It is exactly at its required point. Exact or exactly means accurately, certainly, definitely. And you are on the point. Exactly, absolutely, accurately. What is this? This is called a small life-saving boat. We call it life raft. It saves people's lives when they are in danger and when there is a hurricane, storm, something like that, so they can save their life using the small life raft. This is called life raft, a small life-saving boat. Here you can see different instruments to measure different parameters. For example, clock. We use clock to measure time. We use thermometer to work out or to know about the temperature. We use this measuring tape for the length. So this is called measure. Measure means calculate, work out. Measure, you want to know about the data. Here you can see the earth. It is going around the sun. So orbit, this is an orbit as well, and earth orbits around the sun. Orbit is a noun as well as a verb. So orbit, and the earth orbits around the sun. It's a point, a place. When you open Google Map, you find different points which mentions different places. For example, cafeterias, restaurants, petrol stations, mosques. So it mentions a point. Here you can see row, To move a boat while sitting in it, like we have a nursery rhyme, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. So that means move the boat while sitting in it. You want to move the boat. This is rowing. Here you can see a storm. It's a hurricane when there is strong wind with heavy rainfall. This is called storm. In Qatar, we experience it sometimes. Here is a long body of water, wave. You can find it in the seas. Wave. Weekend. It's nearly close. Nearly. Closely. Yani, weekend is nearly there. Just wait a little more. So nearly means closely, not very far. Here, there are two terms used in our vocabulary which are GPS and SatNav. What is GPS? GPS is Global Positioning System. It is a kind of system which is available in our mobile phones, in our GPS machine, and even in our car console system, which helps us to know about the position of a place. So it runs according to, to the satellites. So it gets the information from satellites and then it tells us that where Aspire Park is or how much is Corniche away from us. So GPS tells us about different locations. This is SatNav. It is available in our cars and it works with GPS signals. It gets help from GPS in order to tell the driver to know where is he going to, how much time has he already taken, how much time is left, and which road is busy, and where are the cameras. So it helps the driver to navigate, to find out about his or her destination. It's a must-have in new cars. So after explaining the vocabulary, let's pause the video here and use the words in period number 5, exercise 1 and 2. After you finish, then check the answers with mine. It's a very narrow track and cars can only pass at two small places. Points. Now question number 2. Add other new words from period 4. Make any changes needed. 1a. During the dash, the wind did a lot of damage. During the storm. Yes, I heard it reached speeds of up to 100 kph, kilometer per hour. I need to know the exact size of the glass that you want. Alright, I'll go and measure the window now. We have to get through the dash to get to the beach and they are huge waves. We'll just have to row through them as well as we can. Are you calling us by satellite phone? Please give us your exact position. Yes, I am nearly 600 kilometers out at sea. So ordinary phones don't work. It's a very narrow track and cars can only pass at two small places. Points. Now question number 2. Add other new words from period 4. Make any changes needed. 1A. During the dash, the wind did a lot of damage. A lot of damage during the storm. Yes, I heard it reached speeds of up to 100 kph, kilometer per hour. I need to know the exact size of the glass that you want. Alright, I'll go and measure the window now. We have to get through the dash to get to the beach, and they are huge waves. We'll just have to row through them as well as we can. Are you calling us by satellite phone? Please give us your exact position. Yes, I am nearly 600 kilometers out at sea, so ordinary phones don't work. Start the text, Finding the Way. It's a beautiful adventure that four friends started their journey. They wanted to set a new record. It's a journey of Mark Stubb and his team. Let's start. Mark Stubb, this is Mark Stubb. Mark Stubbs and his team wanted to be the fastest to row across the Atlantic from Canada to Britain. By 6 p.m. on 8 August 2004, after 40 days and 3,000 kilometers, they had nearly done it. Their GPS showed they were just 450 kilometers from land. So, away from their routine work, Mark Stubb and his friends decided to set a new record. And what was their idea? To row across the Atlantic Ocean from Canada to Britain. Row, meaning they will use this rowing boat to row from Canada to Britain. After 40 days, they were only 450 kilometers away from Britain. And they had nearly done it. They finished 3,000 kilometers distance, and now they were just 450 kilometers from land. But what happened? But that night there was a terrible storm, and at 2:30 a.m. a huge wave destroyed their boat and threw them into the sea. Unfortunately, it was not their lucky moment. A terrible storm hit their boat, and it destroyed their boat and threw them into the sea. They could not accomplish it. Luckily, they managed to save a small life raft, a satellite phone, and their GPS. See, they saved three things: a life raft, a satellite phone, and their GPS. They climbed onto the life raft and they used the GPS to find their position. Then they called for help. So, using satellite phones and GPS, they were able to call for help. With the GPS information, a ship found them at 6:30 a.m. Soon, the men were climbing the side to safety. GPS technology had saved their lives. See, because of GPS technology, they could ask for help, and a ship saved them at 6:30 a.m. And they were all alive and unhurt. About GPS, how does it work? This is your GPS phone and how it connects to the satellites and gives you information about your required destination. GPS uses a network of satellites These orbit Earth at 19,300 km per hour, and the GPS equipment on the ground can always see three or more. What are those three? Three satellites or more. It measures its distance from each and from this works out its exact position. It means that the GPS which is in your hand, it usually sees three or more satellites. It gets connected to them, then it measures its distance from them, how far I am from satellite number 1, satellite 2, satellite 3 or 4. Then it does some calculation and works out that where we are exactly and where do we have to go to. The system is quite simple. Imagine you are lost. You ask someone your position and this person says you are 250 kilometers from Damascus. See? Now here they are giving you an example that you are lost and you are asking a person. Here GPS asks the satellite, but here in real life we ask a person that where am I? So the person says to you, you are 250 kilometers from Damascus. This alone is not very useful. But then imagine that someone else says that you are 375 kilometers from Cairo. You know that you are at one of 2 points. Damascus, Cairo. You found your distance from 2 places, Damascus and Cairo. Finally, someone else says you are 220 kilometers from Aqaba. While now you know exactly you are in Hebron. See, 3 persons told you the distance of 3 places. Then you said that, okay, I'm here in Hebron. So the same technology is run in GPS. 3 satellites tell you about your position by calculating the distance. Now, another example of GPS technology is car sat-navs. They have become a very popular use of GPS in recent years. A sat-nav is a sat-nav, shows the car's position on a map, and it answers questions like these. When and where did I start? How far have I traveled so far? How long have I been on the road? How fast am I going? So this is a must-have in modern and recent cars where a sat-nav is there. It uses the GPS technology and it answers these questions. GPS saves time, has saved many lives, and at around $200 is also not so expensive for many. This is modern technology at its best. See, here your book is mentioning the price of GPS, the old price of GPS, but now GPS are way more cheaper and they are in cheap mobiles and also in every car. So GPS is something that saves lives, that saves time, and that is quite affordable as well. This is the example of a sat-nav. This sat-nav is available on Amazon and you can order it. See, it tells you so many things, so many information you can get by this sat-nav. Question period number 4, question number 4, page number 22. Read and answer the questions. These are 3 questions. Pause the video here and then check your answers with mine. When and where was the photo of the boat probably taken? There is a photo of the boat which I already mentioned you. Number 2. What happened to the weather one night and what happened to the boat? This is the sad event happened to their adventure which stopped their adventure. What 3 things saved their lives? and how did each one help? See, during the discussion of the text, I told you they saved three things and how they helped them to ask for help. Pause the video here and then check your answers. When and where was the photo of the boat probably taken? It was probably taken in Canada before they started rowing towards Britain. See, their aim was to row from Canada to Britain. What happened to the weather? There was a terrible storm. The boat was destroyed by a huge wave. What did they say? They had a small life raft, they had a satellite phone, and they had a GPS. So they saved small life raft, satellite phone, and a GPS. They climbed in the raft, they used the GPS to find their position, and they used the satellite phone to call for help. So these are the first three questions. Now we'll go to question number 4, 5, 6, and 7. Why does GPS equipment need to see at least 3 satellites? Because it needs to work out its position with those satellites. Like you're asking for help and somebody tells you that you are that many kilometers away from this place. What does a sat nav show a car driver? Different things. It shows the positions of different points on a map, restaurants, petrol pumps, cafeterias, mosques, etc. What other questions can it answer for the driver? It can answer when and where they started, how far they have traveled, how long they have been traveling for, and how fast they are going. Why does the writer describe GPS as modern technology at its best? Because it's very affordable. It's not expensive. It saves time and it saves lives as well. It's quite affordable. Quite affordable. Now this is question number 5 on period number 4. We have to complete the notes. Very, very easy. I have already explained it to you. How long before the way? Aim, row across the Atlantic from Canada to Britain. This was their aim. How long at sea? 40 days. How much distance have they traveled? 3,000 kilometers. How far from land? Only 450 kilometers. See, they were about to finish. Unfortunate part, time of wave. 2:30 a.m. Time the rescue ship arrived. 6:30 a.m. How much time they spent in raft? See, from 2:30 to 6:30, 4 hours. Now, quite info about GPS. It orbits at a speed of 19,300 kph. GPS equipment sees how many satellites, 3 or more. It measures their distance and works out its position. So GPS technology works simply to save our life, being quite affordable. Here we go to period number 5, which is about the references and the meaning. Write your own, then check with mine. Soon the men were climbing the side of the boat. GPS equipment on the ground can always see 3 or more. What are those 3 and more? Of course, satellites. GPS equipment on the ground can always see, get information, or be in contact. At its best, this is modern technology at its best, at its finest form. So in this unit, we learned about an adventure, and unluckily that adventure was not successful, and how they managed to save their life using GPS and satellite phone. This is the part of your homework on book and notebook. Stay safe and good luck.